Jagudev again. So today it's very cold here. The weather has changed. It was rainy and cloudy and quite a bit cold for me because when you come from India and being in this weather here, but it's good. So again, like I was saying, today is a festival of Vaisakhi festival. So it's a day of when the people have harvest and they're celebrating their harvest, but being grateful what God have given them. And the Sikh, they celebrate the founding of the Khalsa, which Sri Guru Gobind Singh have created for the protection of religion, protection of the weak. And really one have to be grateful for what we receive in life. Very often we take what life gives us for granted. And we take everything for granted. When everything is given easily, we don't appreciate it really. We say we appreciate it, but because we think, yeah, we have it, we have money to buy everything. So it's like a thing in one life, But no. You see, when you really appreciate something, very often when you lose what you have, when that things which is dear to you is taken away from you. Right now, that freedom to go around, when we look at nowadays what is happening, that freedom to travel around and go around, drive, if I want to go in my car, just jump in my car, just drive around, it's not there, you see. So people start to think, really how wonderful it was when I could be free to travel around. When I wanted to fly, I just book a fly and I just fly, But now you can't do that because there is no plane flying. Even if you have emergency itself, I see it for us also when we return from India back to Germany. By the grace of Giridhariji, it was very easy for us to get it. But many, they have to wait for months, for weeks actually, months and weeks. So being grateful really, that what Vaisakhi stands for, being grateful for what God and nature is giving us, And that in the eyes of nature we are all equal. In nature you will not see whether you are poor or rich, whether you are white or black, it doesn't matter how you are. You are old, you are young. Nature treats everybody equally. And that's what Guru Gobind Singh also wanted, to show to the world. That's why he created this Khalsa, that there is a equalness in the mind of people and the gratitude for everything. So I'll ask Jagopalananda to tell the question.
Why do people leave the spiritual path? And if they left the spiritual path, realized that they've made a huge stupid mistake and want to return, will he accept such a devotee back?
Well, look, people have different agenda in their life, So some people go on the spiritual path just because it is a trend. Some people goes because let me try it, just out of curiosity. So they will go on the spiritual path. But you see, when you go on the spiritual path as a trend or curiosity, nothing have awake inside of you. You don't have any feeling inside of you. So you will go there, you will just say, oh yes, let me go. It's like going to a shopping mall. You go and see everything around, but there is nothing that can really satisfy you. So people very often, because it is so fancy nowadays to be on a spiritual path, to sit there a little bit and meditate, or to do some yoga posture, put your leg in the air and thinking that you are getting enlightened, No, people like these kind of words, they love to hear beautiful words and things that is pleasing to them. So that's why many people, they go on the spiritual path, not knowing how it is, the spiritual path. Here I'm not talking about the pseudo-spirituality which you see in the outside, because there is all kind of spiritual path. Nowadays when you type on your computer spirituality, spiritual path, whatever, you have a variety of things, which is very often people look for easy things. They look for, okay, spirituality must be something, I can't find the word, very trendy, it have to be very easy, if I want to feel God, I should feel it straight away, and you see the people sitting there, I'm feeling energy, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, which is all just here in the mind, because this is not real spirituality. People are looking for just some delusional experience, and just to feel good with themselves, that they can go around and say, yes, I have felt this or I have felt that, So this is not really spirituality, because this kind of spirituality, people goes like shopping, they hop from one place to the other looking for this sensation, so when they look for sensation, of course the market of sensation, the market of Maya is full of sensation. It will give you all kind of sensation, from left to right, there's full of it. Then you walk from one stall to the other, but not knowing truly what are you searching. Like that, many people go on the spiritual path. So they go out of curiosity and trend. For them, they will not last very long on that path, because they need to move. They need to, constantly searching for this sensation that they have inside of them. It's like some people, you see, they are addicted to love. That feeling of love I'm talking about. It's not. It's not true love. It's a, how to call it? It's a sensation which people long for it. It's like a drug, And once they have it, they move on to the next one. They have one partner, they move on to the next one. It's a sensation of, yes, I need that sensation to move on, So drugs is the same thing. So people have replaced drug by spirituality. So when they replace what they are looking for, that sensation that they're looking for, into the outside world, of course, then it will not last for long. It will last maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 6 years. And then on the 6 years, what happened? You will drop off, you will go away, because there is no sincerity inside of you. Because you were looking only for sensation. And people go on spiritual path very often looking for this sensation. You see, when we look, true spirituality is the deepness of spirituality, when you go deep in rediscovering yourself. Here I'm not talking of the self which you just sit there and sit for meditation. Then after that you say, yes, I have felt myself. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about diving deeper inside oneself, Go beyond this delusion which your mind have created, and rediscover firstly who truly you are. That true love, which is unknown to your mind, unlocking something which has been locked since long time. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 13, Bhagavan Krishna said, deluded by the free mode of Maya, this world doesn't know me as being immutable and eternal. It's so true, because you see, people are deluded by this free mode, which is goodness, passion, and ignorance. Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. So being into this free mode of Maya, they see only this reality. They dance into that reality. They play into that reality. Even the search for spirituality into this reality. They don't go deeper into diving beyond this free mode of Maya. So they are, like he said himself, Bhagavan Krishna said, that being deluded, they doesn't know. Firstly, they don't know, but they themselves is eternal. They don't recognize that eternity of the self, the Atma, which is beyond limitation. The Atma, which is eternal, can't long for something which is material, can't hold for something which is material. The Atma, which is eternal, long for something which is eternal. How can you long for something eternal when you don't know that you yourself are eternal? Yes, we say our soul is eternal. Everybody knows that the soul can't die and all these things. But to be in touch with your true self, that's what is true spirituality. Get to know truly who you are, transcending this free mode which Bhagavan have said. In chapter 14, chapter 7, verse 14, he said, there's one way only that one have to do that. Verily, he said, that this free mode of Maya is very difficult to cross over. I'm sure Arjun have asked him a question, how is it possible that we can cross over that? He said, it's very difficult. Truly, it is very difficult. But those who take refuge in me, those who surrender to me, that become easy. It is like, you see, you go to a doctor, for example. Okay, imagine you have a certain illness, you go to a doctor, and the doctor said to you, this illness can't be cured. There is no remedy for that illness. And then he prescribe you some medicine and give you. Would you trust this medicine? No, you would not trust this medicine. So that's the same. Krishna said, look, at the beginning of it, he said, verily, truly, to cross over this mode of Maya, which is my Maya, they say, it's very difficult. So you're shocked, it's like going to the doctor and say, there's no remedy to it. But he said, those who surrender to me, he said, okay, it's fine. Difficult to cross over, but not impossible to cross over. So in chapter 13, he said, it's very difficult, because people are deluded. But let's see, Maya, what it is really. Maya is not bad. She's doing her job because she's surrendered. She's doing what the Supreme Lord himself have ordered her to do, which means to delude the mind of people, until they are truly surrender, until that mind has transformed. You are still in that mode of Maya. You see, when something bad happened to you, you're excited, you get angry, you become so wild. And people which is in the world, but the life just goes on like miserable, not, if it is good, it's good. If it's not good, there's no aim in one life. And those people which is happy, but yet pretend to be happy, So these free modes, Bhagavan said, no, you have to cross over that. If you want to really to attain me, you have to cross over. Because if you hold upon these free things, you will never be able to. So Bhagavan said, no. Now you have to surrender. So that supreme doctor said, okay, fine. I'm using harsh word to tell you strongly that it is impossible. But this is what people are scared, you see, in spirituality. When they go in true spirituality, they're scared of the challenges. But Maya works everywhere. Tell me one place where Maya doesn't work. You see, we are in this material reality. Maya works in all fields. So, coming to that point, you see, when the doctor tells you in a very strong way, no, it is, this, what you have is terrible. But he said, there is one thing. There is one thing to transcend this. It is only when you befriend me, you get to know. You have trust in me. I can help you. It is not impossible, you see. This mode, this delusion which I have cast upon, it is under my governance, under my control. And when I see that you are ready, I will ask, go away. Don't attack my devotee, no. But this happens only when there is this sincereness in what we are doing, that true longing for him, this yearning for him. It can't be just superficial, It can't be just, okay, let me try this and try that, a little this and little that. No, it have to have this single-pointed mindedness, into it. Then it is possible to transcend. So it's the same. You see, people go on the spiritual path, but yet when they are tested, because you see, we like it to be just the way we want, easy, tell us beautiful things, which flowery words, which is beautiful for my ears to hear. But when the tests come, then one run away. Because nobody wants to really go into that test. But in reality, what is that test? You see, it is not to make you weak. Actually, it is a test to make you strong, to know where you stand. And those which is sincerely longing for the truth, for the reality, longing for God, truly, not just superficially, they stand strong in their belief and their faith. Nothing can move them into their faith. Earlier we were talking about Guru Gobind Singh. His father was captured by the Muslim. At that time, India was ruled by Muslim, and they were killing so many people. His father was captured by the Aurangzeb, actually. He was a tyranny, Many have converted to Islam because of that, but he stood strongly into his faith, But they beheaded him, Imagine to stand upon your faith like that, how many martyrs have done. They have not let go of their faith. And that is true spirituality. Spirituality is not just another word to make you think that it is, after religion there is spirituality. No, it's true, after religion is very set mindset things. But spirituality is a transcending of who you truly are, your true identity. And you stand upon that belief and faith of who you are. Nothing can move you. No matter how many tests come, you're clear about your aim and your path. So coming back to your question, if ever somebody come back, it's true, many people, for whatever reason, the mind get deluded often for what they hear, what they see, whatever. And of course, when they start to reflect upon and see why truly this have been like that, is that teaching me something or not? Am I growing into that or not? So the fault is not about the spiritual path that you take, it's about also you, how you perceive it, what spirituality have given you truly, have given you to transcend this mind and to surrender to one supreme reality. Yeah. So, and that is also one thing that very often, when people lack knowledge about true spirituality, true path, they go into delusion, of course, and they will go around. When they realize it, when they think that they are ready, then they'll come back. And this is also in the control of the free mode, which Bhagavan Krishna has said, is Maya. You see, because if somebody is not ready, but yet deep inside of them reside that grace which through many lives they have received, they have longed for. Because you see, inside the Atma knows, what is the reality. And the Atma longs for that reality. Through lives you have been longing for that reality. For whatever reason, it has bring you on the spiritual path, no matter which path I'm talking about, it's spiritual path, just to bring you a certain awareness which is beyond a certain dogmas or limitation. So that means that you have certain things inside of you which is sincere. That's what makes you search for your path. So you will go sometimes you will go from one thing to the other, looking around, shopping around, but yet, actually what you're looking for that sincerity within yourself and sincerity about your path itself. So sometimes it happens for some people that they go around, and for years after that they come back again. So whether it will be the same or not, well, you see, when you have left after so many years, there is a big gap also to catch. Of course, it will never be the same. But nonetheless, at least you have realized that this is your path, and you have come back. So this happened also in spiritual path. But as I said earlier, the most important thing is that you know truly. Once your spiritual path have revealed itself, and once your master have revealed itself to you, forget everything else. Drop everything. Look only toward that. Get to know only this. Like that, you will be single-pointedness, and then you will be more strong, because more you are into this, more clear you are, more power will be inside of you. More strength will be awakening inside of you. But more you are in doubt, more you are in, not sure, of course you will be weak. So surround yourself, if you see that you know that this is your path, but yet weakness sometimes arises, surround your path with devotees, which have, elevated devotees who have really gone through these things and have transcended their mind and really can help you. If not, then read the life of saints, what they go through. Understand that true spirituality is not this fantasy which people go around talking about spirituality, But spirituality is something which is deep, Especially we are on the Vaishnava path, and of course, the Kriya path from Mahavtar Babaji. Mahavtar Babaji don't take things, superficially. He's very strict. Even on our path, being Vaishnava, you have to be strict into that, So strict doesn't mean you become fanatic. But know that you belong to this path, you belong to this tradition, and this is you, And you have to honor it. You have to embrace it. Like that you can also share it with others. The more you become strong, more you beam that light, more you can help other people also on their path to find their way also in life. Whether it is the same way or not, But as I said always, you see, if you have tasted something which is wonderful, you will love to share it. But you have to know that not everybody like the same kind of food, They are not ready to eat what you love. You have to take time, So like that, you have to be on a spiritual path which is strong. And you have to be clear with yourself, but this is my path, this is my way. That is who I am. It doesn't matter what people think about you. Stand strong upon your belief, your faith.
What is a dream? Is it an illusion or expectation? Or should we believe and hold on to our dreams?
Dreams can be a bit weird right now because you see, when you're talking about dream, many people have a dream what they want to achieve in life. This is also called a dream. And to have an aim is also called a dream, So you have a dream that one day you will achieve something great in life, you'll be somebody in life. This is also a dream. So I don't think that you're asking about that right now. So what is a dream? Well, in a scientific way, dreams say that you see it's a mixture of images and information that you have gathered throughout the day. Then after that, when you sleep at night, you dream about certain things. It's like a continuation. But in reality, dreams have many levels. So you have dreams which is like this, what I just explained right now, but your mind is so busy in the outside world. You see very often people which is so mind-centered, and also very focused upon the external reality, which means they are focused upon the world outside, busy about their work, family, and so on, friends, and all this external thing. So because of such a mindset, they have a certain kind of dream, the same drama which carry on from the day, they can dream also at night, a continuation of that mind. Because that mind is, you see, your mind is so much tired with this, what you are focusing on the outside, but your mind is, even when you are sleeping, your mind is still trying to digest it. So how will the mind digest it? The mind will start to play it inside of your mind. So then you also dream about. So you will dream similar to what you have lived during the day. This is one kind of dream. Then you have another kind of dream where when you're sleeping, you enter a state where normally this kind of dream, this kind of people, what I'm going to explain right now, the people normally don't dream so much. Their mind is calm, the mind is fine, but when they dream of something, it is a very strong dream. Actually, this kind of dream is called premonitory dream. So premonition, awake inside. So this is a dream of the consciousness, where when you sleep, your consciousness travels. So when your consciousness travels, of course it can go to many places which you have never been in this life. You will dream about. Things that you have never done in this life, you will dream about. Because it is nothing to do with this time. Because inside of you, there is different reality from many lives, which is all downloaded inside of you. So all of them are present inside. So when you have this premonitory dreams, your soul may have traveled in previous lives of yourself or future. So that consciousness, when it comes back, of course it creates a certain dream, but it is vivid, it is clear inside of your mind. And when you wake up, you remember it. Of course, this kind of dream, it is a dream where you have to meditate upon and see what it is teaching you. What this dream are telling you. You know, it's not about going around telling people about this dream, but it's about seeing, because you see, what have triggered these dreams is something which have happened in your life itself, in this present life. And this present life wants to teach you something which you should not carry on doing from previous. Or what you can change so that the future can be different. This is premonitory dreams, you know. And then you have another dream, where very often people ask, you know, Guruji, I have dreamt about you, you know. Is it truly you who come in the dream? Actually, yes. You see, to create the image of the master is not, the mind is not that strong to create that. So, the mind can't create, even if you're sitting and meditating upon, very often you will say, I try to visualize you. Yesterday it said somebody sent me a message, said, Guruji, I try to visualize you, but I can't visualize you. So imagine, if being visualization you can't, do you think in the dream the master would just come like that? No, it will not. So when you dream of a saint, you dream of the Lord, you dream of Krishna, you dream of Sriman Narayana, you dream of any deity, actually you're having the blessing, you're having the grace, you're having the darshan of them directly. And sometimes they can speak a certain language in the dream, but when you come back to you, when you're awake, you still remember what they have told you, but you have not to take it literally what you have heard, because you see, when they speak to your atma, to your consciousness, they speak a different language to what your mind can understand. So to understand it with the mind, you will understand it in a very logic way in the outside, which is limited. So one thing is that you should do, meditate upon what you have received. Now, so this is the dream which comes with the blessing and grace. So like I said, when the Guru comes into your dream, it is the Guru himself, you know, the essence of the Guru who have come to give you darshan and blessing. You know, and should not be taken just for granted like that. You know, you should meditate upon it, and you should really absorb your mind into it, so that the mind can understand the true meaning behind what you have received. So, yeah, I've told you about free state of dream, you know, which normally you could understand and really focus upon.
What is the difference between our lower dharma and higher dharma? And how do we overcome fear, greed, attachment in our lower dharma in order to carry out our higher dharma?
You see, the lower dharma, which means, I don't understand what you mean by lower dharma. I guess what you mean is that your dharma here as a human being, you see, in life, you have been born here in this world. You know? And of course, your dharma being here is what you have, what you can do to make this place a better place. You know, this is your dharma, which means that include your job, whatever path you have. Say, let's for example, you are married, you know, your dharma as a family person, you know, and your dharma as a brother, sister, or a child, you know, your dharma as a parents. So these are dharma of here, you know, which it is very important. You see, because if you don't take this seriously, how would you finish with that? You will never finish with it. Very often people say, okay, yeah, I'm spiritual now, my dharma is finished with this. No, 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 no. Of course, your certain karma is finished with. Certain duty is finished. But doesn't mean that this dharma what you were doing was not good. It was good, because through accepting this dharma, through doing this what you were doing, that have brought you to your higher dharma, what you have incarnated for. Firstly, what you have to do, learn to accept in your life, whatever path you have taken, learn to accept that you have been born here and you have to do a certain duty. And really, that the moment you learn to accept what God have given you, as your job, as your family, as your surrounding, whatever. You see, when I'm saying to accept, doesn't mean that you have to go and say, jump on everybody and hug everybody, say, I love you, whatever. No, inside of you feel the gratitude for it. Feel happy that all this you have. Without a job, you will not be where you are. So this have all this experience that you have experienced have bring you where you're standing. And through this experience, you will be made ready to do truly what you have come. So the Guru will guide you to your true dharma. So one dharma you are doing, telling you, but you have to accept your daily routine. But don't forget, accepting your daily routine and surrender this daily routine to the feet of Srimad Narayana. So then, on the greater picture of your true dharma, as you have been on your spiritual path, your true dharma is to spread also what you received. Because you see, a real dharma is not only something material, it is also something which is spiritual. That's why, this is the past few years I have been telling to the devotees, educate yourself, learn. I told Swami Revati and now Rishi Akash, and the media and team and so on, to spread the message. The devotee should know about the message of the Guru, should know the teaching, so that they can help other people. They can help other soul to ascend also. Not only them, but also care for others. So that's what all great masters have said, bring my teaching and share it with everybody. And this is the dharma of each devotee to do. And this is the greatest dharma. Because when you become the enlightenment, you become the way for somebody else, you're bringing what you have received for you're giving it to somebody else, you're sharing it. And that is one of the greatest dharma. Because this is not, I'm not telling you to bring people to me. No, bring them to Srimad Narayana. Make them aim for something which is superior, something which is beyond the concept of the mind itself. So you are not doing it for me. You are doing it for the Supreme Lord Himself. And this is the dharma of each devotee to do. So, like that, it's all come to the point of accepting firstly what you're doing in life. Love it. Love what you do and offer it to the feet of Giridhariji.
I'm an artist. How do we become our most creative selves, and how do we use it to express what's in our hearts?
Oh, I love artists. Actually, artists most of the time express what is inside of them. Because see, when an artist starts to do any kind of art, I'm not talking about only painting, I'm not talking about sculpturing, they go in a state of meditative. And in the state of meditation, you see, what is happening left, right, doesn't matter. It becomes all irrelevant completely. So when you are doing what you are doing, being an artist especially, forget about the world outside. Forget everything. Bring all your focus, and pour out from your heart what you have inside and put it out. Whether people appreciate your art or not, it doesn't matter. You see, when we see all the great artists, when they were alive, did anybody appreciate their art? Nobody appreciated their art. But nevertheless, they have given something to this world. Nowadays, you see all their art pieces are worth millions and millions of dollars. But it's not about the millions. Do you think when they were painting, they were thinking about the millions? No, they were not thinking about the millions. They were thinking, what can I give to that culture? What can I give to that society that will make them reflect upon something deeper inside of them? And that's what was coming from inside of them. And they pulled this out and put it in. What is inside of them, they put it outside. So like that, what you have inside of you when you're doing your art, just put it out. So it is a great, meditation, An artist can really express itself more than anybody else. That's why I like very much when artists talk about it. Some of them are crazy, but it's good sometimes to be crazy. Well, most of the artists are crazy anyway, so it's just through this craziness that we can express, Well, you see, spiritual people also are artists because we are crazy. We are crazy for God, And so sometimes we express this craziness. People will never understand. Because you see, people look in the whatever glass they put on, If they wear a glass red, they will see everything red. If they wear yellow, they will see everything yellow. So it doesn't matter. So be free to express what you have inside of you. Be yourself, And only by being yourself that the divine will reveal itself, So, Jai Gurudev.